The Summer I Turned Pretty, Season 3, Episode 7, We Can't Be Friends.
This is The Greg Cote Show with Greg Cote.
Pardon it.
Here's your host, Greg Cote.
What is that noise you're making, Yeti? Are you stirring a drink?
Yes.
That's very fitting for the start of this podcast because you are the straw that stirs this drink. So it's very, very fitting. Dad, have you ever been the straw of a drink? We've started the podcast, by the way, so please stop acting like you're napping.
I'm researching. I'm doing due diligence is going on where I am.
You definitely, and I was too. Were you a crammer when you were in school? Like I'm studying like on the way to school.
Yeah, I would do that. I'm not a big preparation guy when it comes to that. You know,
Study.
I mean, let's be real. I was never a great student in school.
That's
like
where
I was a C plus kind of guy.
That's where I got it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you make people smile and you make them snicker. And you think that's enough. You don't worry about making the honor roll.
If I had put forth the effort, it would have been over for all of you. Like, yeah, because I was making B's and I never read any books. I didn't study. I didn't do my homework. Still made B's.
I like the idea of Dad painting himself to be in high school some sort of charmer. Where you were like notably a loser in high school. Like you played Stratomatic with Paul Radke.
I know, but in college I became a charmer.
Really?
I really blossomed. In high school, I was the nerd. I weighed like 85 pounds. When I graduated high school, I looked like I was like 15. It was embarrassing.
I didn't blossom till my 20s.
I have seen your high school picture. Everyone on YouTube, go look at it right now. One of your pictures, I think it's from early in high school. You do look like you're about 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a late bloomer.
I was a late
very
bloomer.
Small.
In terms of confidence, I was very late bloomer as well. We're still waiting for Yeti to bloom.
Still waiting. Waiting on these things to grow in.
Christopher, I feel like you were the cool kid in high school.
I was like the funny guy, and like I did have friends because I played on the baseball team, but
right,
like I was not a confident kid, and I didn't really, I'm really more talking with the ladies. I was
okay.
I was like just like the guy always looking for the joke, but
right.
Not that I've really changed that much, I guess. But
okay.
Now I'm just now you should see me with the ladies. I am
hopefully just the one.
Right. I know
the lady. That's right, the lady.
That's what you meant. You didn't mean the plural there.
Right.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's get that straight. By the way, I have to get right to the big star of today's podcast episode, okay? We have a special guest. Sometimes we have guests. I call them special guests. Really not that special. But I think this guy's a special guest.
On the special meter from complete bullshit to actually mean that they're special, where would you say Mario fits into this?
This is closer to actually thinking that they're special.
Right. This is like a 7.9, almost an 8 on the we actually mean this meter.
Yeah, because this is the head coach of a top 10 college football team that I expect to make the college football playoffs and make a run at a national championship.
He's
Mario
a homer.
Cristobal. No? Mario Cristobal is
Mario
here.
Cristobal, I don't think we included him in our top 100 even voting. I think we forgot to even add him on.
No, I think this is his first time. No?
No, he was on last year.
Oh, so wow.
Oh,
wait, was he on our show last year, or did I just edit for your article?
I'm pretty sure my dad did the thing where he like took a snippet from a press conference, or my dad recorded.
No. Greg, I reviewed an interview with Cristobal last year.
Oh, that was the one where it ended in the middle, right?
Yes. Yeah. And Mario wanted to talk so bad that he called him back.
I know. That's right. You're right about that. This time we got the whole interview in.
This time.
That's how excited I am. My voice is changing. I'm going through puberty live on the air here.
And if you think that the setup for this Mario Cristobal interview is long, wait till you hear my dad's first question.
Let's get to it now or we'll never end the pod.
Okay. There he is.
How are you, man?
I'm great. How you doing, Mario?
Doing great. I was hoping I'd see you practice out there so you could help me get after these big-ass offensive linemen of ours.
I think they're going to be okay from everything I hear. I think you got a pretty airtight roster. I'm thrilled right now to have Mario Cristobal, the head coach of the University of Miami Hurricanes football team, on during the build up to what I would call one of the biggest opening games in program history. And I don't even think that's exaggerating. You got another top 10 team, Notre Dame Fighting Irish, coming into town. So Mario, thanks a lot for being with us.
Appreciate you having me. It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you as well. And I'm so old that I remember when Notre Dame was a huge rivalry. Like I was on campus in Notre Dame in the '80s when Miami had the bad boy image and the fatigues and Catholics versus convicts. I mean, it was a crazy time, and I'm so thrilled that is starting with such a game as this. I want to tell my podcast audience, Mario, before we get started, why I'm a big supporter of yours. It's because you inherited a pressure-filled job coming back to your alma mater to restore the glory days of Canes football, okay? And what I've seen is you turning expectations into action and results, okay? It's undeniable. You inherited a bad program talent-wise. You took it from 5 wins to 7 wins to 10 wins, and now you're top 10 heading into your year 4. So congratulations on all that.
And will there ever be a question in this interview? Is the real question?
No, there won't. It'll just be me talking. It'll just be me talking. That's what I have. That's what I have Christopher here for, to shut me up and to get us going. So
Mario's had 6 sips of his drink, just waiting for you to get to a question.
I know. Okay, I want to ask you, Mario, if you can put into words what you inherited and how that's changed in your 3 years going into 4 here.
Well, number one of the best things I've heard early here is you say that's dear to my heart. People always say now the U and whatnot, and I'm all about that too. But growing up, it was
Yeah.
And I committed to So I appreciate the part right there.
Okay.
I'm
old school.
You know what? It was, Greg, it was like I had seen from afar the level of recruiting and the level of play and how it just Miami, it almost felt like for 20 years had been delinquent in the areas of talent acquisition and player development. And then it's, if you're a Hurricane, you're a Hurricane for life, and that's all you will ever see, live, and dream. And
right.
So when the call came, I think what a lot of people don't realize that we had just gone to our third straight conference title game out at Oregon, and we had won the Rose Bowl the previous year, the top 5 ranking, and our best classes were in tow. Like our best teams were coming up. In fact, I think 3 of them were first rounders this past year. And all of a sudden I look at the roster that's in place in Miami, and it was wow. And it really hit us when we made the decision, best day ever. And we go through spring. It's like, this is rough, and we're sitting on a tarmac waiting to take off for some type of fundraising event, and we're notified, hey, you guys got to hold on. You might have to go live on radio or TV because the draft streak is about to end. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, yeah, we still haven't had a guy drafted, and we're deep in the 7th round, and all of a sudden, a player was drafted, but it hit us right between the eyes. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
Miami that I left and played at, by the end of the first round, there were 5-6 guys taken. And we dominated April, which in turn dominated the fall, which just kept being cyclical, right? That's just like football. You got to win one part so that it just becomes a cycle. And so that's what it was. It was certainly in a rough situation. And you know what? We're grateful for the fact that we got the opportunity to just get right to work. But it was certainly a monumental roster overhaul, and one that continues, that doesn't stop nowadays with the advent of the transfer portal and NIL and all that stuff. So, but we have awesome people that live and die and breathe Miami Hurricane football. So we're at it, man.
And the contrast that I love from that story is that from that tarmac, from inheriting a roster that barely eked out a last round draft pick, 3 years later, you're in the green room at the NFL draft with Cam Ward, the overall number 1 draft pick. So that expresses not just the talent development, but how you've been able to really win the portal at some of the most important positions. What was that like? The Cam Ward experience, because he came here, he gave you the best offense in the country. He set all kind of long-standing records. What was that like that night, watching only the third number one draft pick in program history?
It was awesome. I felt like I had been cheated for the previous, 4 or 5 years. When Justin Herbert was a top 10 pick, there was COVID, so that the kibosh was on that. The next year, Sewell had a giant bash in Utah, so there was no attendance there. And then when Kayvon Thibodeau was a top 10 pick, I was already on my way to Miami. So I'm like, hey, man, I've never been. And, Cam obviously gets a nod. And then he told me, and he's like, Coach, we're not going to be here long. So first pick overall.
Yeah.
But again, just watching him and that match. I remember his recruiting process, how talented he was. But man, he's on a team that's, they're at 6-6, 5-7 because the protection ain't there. All the parts around it aren't there. If we could just get that talent in our system and surround him with our parts, I think we have ourselves a big time team. And man, he was awesome. He is awesome. I hope you get an opportunity to spend some time with him because he's one of a kind.
You mentioned some of what you did at Oregon, and you're one of only 7 active coaches in college football right now who's had multiple Power 4 conference championships, and I know you're aching to make the ACC title one of those. When you go from 5 wins to 7 to 10, and now a top 10 ranking, what defines success for you now? What defines progress for you entering your season 4?
Yeah, continued progress. The goal has always been to build a sustainable championship program, and there's some painful steps you just can't skip. You just can't. And we just seen year after year the caliber of human being that's being brought into the building. And not only at the player level, but at the coaching level, development, academics. Heck, our academics are at an all-time high right now. And upon arrival 3 years ago, it was at an all-time low. From an APR standpoint, from a GPA standpoint. So for us, we don't sky's the limit. We're more hungry and more driven and more determined now than ever before because, the appetite to just continue to elevate Miami we live for this, Greg. This is it's everything to us. And we just see the progress, we feel the progress, and we know that there's a lot of improvement to be made. So we're football junkies, man. We're Miami Hurricane junkies. We're addicts,
Right.
And
right.
with Carson Beck coming in, and you talk about Cam Ward and all of that, and the year he had, and going up the draft charts, how do you manage the expectations with Carson Beck? You don't want to just be like, hey, you're going to be the next Cam Ward, because obviously Cam Ward was really special. But you also, you know what I mean? How do you balance a guy like that and a young kid and just trying to be, follow Cam Ward essentially?
Well, they say that comparison is a thief of joy, right? We never ever compare one player to another. We wanted Cam Ward to be the first Cam Ward. We didn't want him to be the next Ken Dorsey. We want Carson Beck to be the first Carson Beck. So, every player is different, right? And the supporting cast changes year after year. But I do know this, I think we're getting the best version of Carson Beck, and the best version of Carson Beck on a consistent basis. Sky's the limit for him. He's got the right mindset. He's got the right physical tools, the ability, the football IQ. And he's a guy that's hell-bent on just winning and making people around him better. Those things match up with us. And as long as that's the case, we feel confident going into the season.
Some of what we've heard during this training camp is that the offense is going to be a little bit more balanced this year, perhaps relying less on arm and a little bit more on a strong running back room. How do you describe how this year's team is going to be different than last year's and better than last year's?
Well, you never know how it's going to turn out offensively. Some of those throws were RPOs that sometimes handed off. They might go for 60. So I think we were at 55-45 pass to run. Okay. And we've always been at the 50 mark, 50-50. It just ends up that way in the way we call it, in the way that we game plan. So I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be. I know that our work towards evolving as an offense has been immense, because right now is being the number one offense the year before is great from an accolade standpoint. It's a curse because the whole country studies you and how to stop.
Yeah.
So we went deep dive into self-scout. We scoured the country and made our NFL visits and our college visits, and we evolved. We've taken it now to another, I would say, realm and level in terms of, name it, disguise, concept, matching up the simple concept of players over plays. We got to get the ball in the hands of our best players as opposed to running the plays that we like to run. And that's where I think you'll see, I feel good about our identity. I don't want to hand it over before game one as to what we look like and what's really standing out. But the best part, honestly, is that we have approached camp with a camp mentality, and we have kicked each other's asses for now practice 13 without hiccups of culture, without any like issues regarding competition. So I think we see a more callous culture like coming to life, which has always been the goal. We want to be just relentless, but we want to be unaffected by the outside stuff. That's the stuff that really excites. Having Coach Jimmy Johnson was here yesterday, talking about that, man, and the things that go with that as it relates to camp and how it carries over the season. That's what has me excited. What it's going to look like defensively, it's obviously different because last year we took a huge nosedive. But you know what? When asked about that, I say, you know what? If we didn't turn the ball over, defense wouldn't have been on the field, and we win, and it's a different ending. So all in all, everyone gets excited in August with the way that we've recruited and developed, the people we brought in, the systems we've gone to. At Miami, it's just very, very real. Like the momentum inside the walls of this place is like really freaking strong, man. It's like go time,
No, it's super exciting, and especially when I contrast it to the Miami Dolphins, who are generating very little buzz right now. It's all about UM, and you mentioned Jimmy Johnson. I covered UM full time when Jimmy was here for those 4 years, and man, that was when Miami Notre Dame was a thing, man. That was what a rivalry that was, and coming back now with the opener bearing in. How is it to prepare for your biggest game of the season right out the gate? Because I remember, I'm old school. I remember when big teams like big programs like the U had soft openings, right? You'd start with Bethune-Cookman. You sort of, you could, and this is me saying and not you, but you could sort of sleepwalk through your opener. Now you got your toughest game of the year right out the gate. Is that something you prefer?
Our focus, to me, let's call it what it is. Everyone associated with the University of Miami, and really people with football, know what the caliber of game that we have in game one. But in here, it's been just a complete and utter harnessing every thought, every part of our processes to Miami versus Miami every day on Green Tree practice field. It's the only way to give ourselves the best chance of having our best season. Because even though you do a lot of work in the spring, you have some guys that are missing, some parts that are missing. You don't really establish your identity going into the season until fall camp, training camp. And man, to me, training camp is sacred. I'm talking about it's one of my favorite absolute, throw out Christmas, throw out all that other stuff. Training camp to me is the essence of a team because the levels of your toughness, your physicality, what guys can do, what they can't do. People just emerge out of nowhere. Guys that just dedicate their summers to becoming contributors and competitors. So every ounce of focus has been on that. Now, when we finish off this week and we get to Tuesday, Wednesday, now that shift focuses, I should probably call you back then to talk about opponent one, because right now I'm going to be a boring take and a boring answer on opponent one. Right now, opponent one is tonight at 7:05 when we got full pads out there under the lights. And it's going to be a really physical, test their butts, roll the ball out the 1 yard line, call 4th and 1, have multiple, substitutions and rotations, take it to 2 minute, 4 minute, end of game situations, red zone, third down. It'll be like knock 'em, sock 'em robots tonight. And then at the end of tonight, we'll have a really good feel for what Sunday's scrimmage should look like. And when we come out of that scrimmage, now we'll know what it's going to look like first snap.
Last year, when you're 10-2 before the bowl game, I thought you were a college football playoff team. I thought you'd be one of the 12. You narrowly missed. Was that how much of a disappointment was that, or a surprise to you? And does that increase the motivation this year to make sure that doesn't happen again?
Yeah, and that motivation would be there with or without that. But at the end of the day, we had an opportunity to close it and we didn't. So that to us is the one that's the most disappointing. When you look at the criteria for the selection process and saw how that worked out, that was also disappointing, which leads us back to, hey, like Coach Johnson told us before we play our games, when you go on the road, you never leave it in the hands of the officials. If you do, don't be disappointed at the outcome. Well, the bottom line and the moral of the story, let's not leave any doubt and let's take care of business.
Mm-hmm. Your roster seems airtight to me. When you look at it with your knowledge of it, is there an area that concerns you? Some people say wide receiver room, maybe. When you look at your roster, last year it was pass defense, I think. What is the area of concern, if any?
I don't know if I'd use the word concern. We're like our talent acquisition appetite is insatiable. I mean, I'm looking forward to the day where I could speak with you on one of these, interviews and say, hey, we have a first rounder at every single position on the field. Until that day comes, I think, I'll never be satisfied. And we have some really high level players. I wouldn't trade our guys for anybody. And the mentality that we are building, coupled with the talent and I would say what we're doing schematically, just has me, it has me beyond just fired up to get at it, man. I don't know about speaking about concerns. My concern is making sure I get to the next meeting on time. I don't worry about
Right.
once the players are on the field, you know what? It's our job to get them prepared, know what they're doing, how to do it, why we're doing it that way, and play as hard as they could possibly play. Good, clean football, team football, and go be physical as you know what. But aside from that, concerns, I wouldn't point at a position group that I'd feel that way about.
Mario, I want to talk to you about stress for a minute because I think college coaching is one of the most stressful to the max jobs there can be. More so when you're trying to bring new glory days to your beloved alma mater for the first time in a quarter of a century or close to it. And more so now in your sport where there's NIL and transfer portal. And is he dissatisfied? Is he going to leave? How do you handle stress?
Well, first thing, I just got to take a peek at my knee, my elbow, my shoulder, my foot, and I could find about 10, 11 zippers on my body that are the result of playing for the University of Miami. So I have full confidence in saying that my expectation, my love, my work ethic for this place will never be matched or fathomed. And we surround ourselves with people to do so. And that to me I guess the word pressure doesn't hit me, or stress hits me, because I live for this. I live for this opportunity. And here, Greg, the difference is too is, when I watched Miami from afar, I watched for 20 years, after just, we kicked ass, man. We were unbelievable. We dominated for a long time. And so, things they took a downward, a slide, and some years were better than others. But overall, not great. But I saw Miami just getting attacked by everybody, and even its own people, and honestly, it pissed me the hell off. Like, it really, really pissed me off and made me angry to the point where, things worked out and I finally got the opportunity to come back and actually do something about it instead of make noise about it. So I guess in essence, I feel, and I hope everybody that's associated with the University of Miami Hurricanes feels this way. I hope we all feel like we owe Miami, like we owe the Miami Hurricanes for all the stuff they did for us, because you know what? We weren't the best kids in the world, and we needed guidance and coaching and teaching, and through that, we got opportunities, and look how many guys have gone on to be ultra successful, man. So, I mean, to me, that's what hit me 3,000 miles away. That's what drove me back here. That's what drives me on a daily basis. And so, therefore, there is no stress. You know what it is? It's positive anger. And you know what?
Okay.
Positive anger is an energy that burns damn clean. You know that?
Yeah.
It burns clean. So I don't know. I didn't answer your question. That answer probably sucked, but I hope it makes some kind of sense, you know?
No, it's a great answer because you have such enthusiasm and such joy that despite all the stress, you're a guy who just loves his job so much, and it looks like you're having fun. And I'm trying to figure out, with all the stress on your shoulders, how the hell do you have so much fun doing what you're doing?
You know what? This will sum it up. I love football and I love the Miami Hurricanes more than I hate all the bullshit surrounding college.
That's fair.
You know, the love for the Canes and for football override my disdain for all the BS.
Excellent. Mario, we're going to let you go. I appreciate you. I'm genuinely happy for your success, and I wish you more of it.
I'm happy to see you. My brother told me to tell you hello because I told him I was going to see you today. So you'll be proud of Lou, man. He's retired, you know.
Excellent.
He's working as a, what is it? Professional witness. Well, he's actually working harder now than he did while he was
nice
policeman.
I remember when I covered the team, I remember your brother yelling at me a couple of times. I don't think he didn't
yells
know
at everybody. You know, it's
Okay.
a rite of passage.
Okay. Tell him I said hello.
Thank you for your time and thank you for having me. I greatly appreciate you guys. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. Thanks, Mario.
See you, man. Thank you.
Guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Had I not jumped in, my dad would still be asking that first question.
That's
Like,
fair.
Dad, you do this sometimes where you're trying to like build up a guest and you're trying to make them feel warm and welcome, and you talk for 3 minutes.
I know.
Dan does this move sometimes.
That I would love for there to be someone with no time on their hands that would actually like clock Dan's question setup and like
Yeah.
rate them throughout the year.
Right.
That
Yeah.
could be a Sooie category. It'd be, you know, like Dan's longest question setup.
Get to work on that, Yeti.
Oh, Greg. So Sooie week,
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
here.
big deal for you.
It's a big week for all of us. The Hee
It's
Haw
a big
3.
week. It's a big week for me and Yeti because it's like done.
Oh
We
my
can finally
gosh.
take a breath.
Oh yeah, believe me.
I'm ready to have my family back. I don't know
Yeah.
that they're ready to have me, but
I mean, hopefully you can take a nice like maybe a vacation because of it, Yeti. But no.
we'll just be paying on the van. Daddy's
All
got
right.
bills to pay.
There you go. It's a big week, the Sooies, because the Hee Haw 3, consisting of myself, Yeti, and Jeremy Taché, the Hee Haw 3 got together and did their first original song.
I guess we're revealing that.
Yes,
Yeah,
we are.
finish this episode and then go to Dan's show so you can watch the Sooies and listen and hear the Greg Cote and the Hee Haw 3's first original tune.
Right.
Me and you at the Sooies.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's play a snippet of that song. How about it?
How about I play a snippet of you messing up?
And every day you're going to go to a website. Yeah. Okay, hang on. And every day you're going to go to a website. And what? Okay, I would allow that. No, don't do that.
Oh, no, it's
we
already
did-
done, Greg. I am
That's
the
what
editor in
that's,
chief.
That's the good stuff right there.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what we need.
All right, so I got to suffer through outtakes.
Oh, Dad, just so you know, in a similar boat on the Lebitard show this upcoming week, there will be an outtakes from Greg Cote reading the audio. You know, you hear my dad through the Sooies, and now the nominees for this, and then he reads each nominee, and we had some doozies.
Oh, well, I mean, come on. I mean, there's a lot of people who I don't know who they are, how to pronounce their name. Miro, who's that guy? I don't know any of that stuff. You know, come on.
Oh, the
But-
Kid Marrow. One of the best laughs.
Yeah,
He's got
yeah,
one of my
that one.
favorite
Is it the
laughs.
Kid Marrow or is it Marrow?
It used to be Kid Marrow, and now he goes by Marrow. Like, what are we
So
doing?
he's that means he's not a kid anymore. He's like
That's
an
right.
adult.
He grew up. That's right.
Okay, he dropped the junior. Now he's just Miro, whatever his name is. Who is he? Is he a comedian?
What do you do?
Jesus
Like,
and Mero. He had a really popular show on Vice.
I think you could call him a comedian, but he's done a bunch of podcasting, and he's a tastemaker. He's hilarious.
I mean that in all respect, all due respect.
No, I mean, like it is no offense. Like people don't get offended when you don't know them because you are just like an old man that like, huh? Who's that? Like I don't think anyone could really be offended by you not knowing who they are.
Okay,
like, people get it.
If Milton Berle would be offended from his grave if I didn't know Milton Berle.
Milton Berle.
You know,
Wow.
I gotta know. I gotta know all the oldies.
I'll see your Milton Berle and I'll raise you a Yule Brenner.
No, Pat.
There
Burrell.
you go. I like that. I wanted to talk about the movie that's this came up briefly on the Lebitard show. I feel like the Greg Cote show really gave the impetus to the new movie premiering next month called The Senior. It's finally being released nationally. It's a true story about a 59-year-old man who went out for a college team as a linebacker. Okay, named Mike Flint.
Like
That's
a
the
real life
life guy.
like a real life Billy Madison.
Except it's a legit story. 59-year-old
So's Billy Madison.
grandfather linebacker Mike Flint, and we had him on our show. If you want to look it up, it was in October 23.
November 3rd of 2020 or November 6th, November 3rd, 2023. Yep.
Dad, you're painting this like the Lebitard show was amazed by this story, and they're amazed that we were able to. It's like no, we were making fun on the Lebitard show of how ridiculous the movie looks because it's what's the actor's name?
Michael Chiklis.
Michael Chiklis
From The Shield.
Right.
Like who is clearly like in his 60s. And he's just like this, like you see him in like football pads, and it's just hilarious.
But Mike really did this, like, and I bring this up in the interview, like how, like he actually lived the thing that every male thinks they can do at some point in their life. Like everything Greg Cote says he could do now, Mike actually did.
Right.
And went back for his senior year. He had 1 year of eligibility. And he went and played, and like,
so if you're interested,
cool stuff.
Yeah. So if you're interested in hearing about that story, we did that interview a couple years ago. We were ahead of our time.
Episode 46 of 2023. So November 3rd, 2023. Check it out.
Just episode 46 overall in 2023.
We'll link it in the show notes.
Yeah.
Actually, it was not episode 46 overall because back then, in the beginning of the podcast, we did episodes year by year numbered.
But it was episode 46 of 2023.
But why?
Your dad would reset every year.
No, I know that. But we've stopped doing that. So why haven't we just renumbered all our episodes so that we started at 1?
Well, we have since then. But then it was episode 46 of 2023. Okay?
Yeah, so now we're on what? Episode 285? Is that where we're at?
But we've really done like 90 more than that or something?
No. We just picked up, we counted how many episodes had we done. And then started the numbering system from there.
Right.
This is how,
Okay,
math
but
works.
We didn't go back and number. Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, we didn't start at 0 and now we're at 285.
I thought for a second that we did a couple, like 1 year numbering our episodes, next year numbering our episodes, and then the third year we numbered our episodes, and then that following year we just started from that number and started counting. Oh, my bad. Okay, go ahead, guys.
Okay. Okay. All right. You got that clear now because it's not that difficult.
Okay.
Chris isn't a number knower.
No, I think
I'm annoyed at the phrase, by the way, ball knower. I'm kind of done with that.
What does that mean? I've never heard that phrase.
You know ball. It's like this guy, like, if
over
if
the
you're-
last,
if- yeah,
really this year, but I think starting last year is where I first started hearing it. Yeah, someone who knows ball. They're a ball knower, and it's like
it's just if you say something and someone feels like, oh wow, that was some good analysis there. Like that guy knows ball. That's a ball knower.
That's a bad
I don't
phrase.
mind that guy knows ball.
Yeah.
But ball knower, it's just one of those things that's like it's pushing a button.
Greg rarely gets that analysis of his analysis.
It's awkward.
Right.
The only person I want knowing my balls are me, my wife, and my urologist.
My analysis is spot on.
I feel like your analysis is always like you say your thing and everyone's like, yeah, that's about what I expect.
It's about what?
That's about what I expected. Yep. That's
Really? Okay.
What's he think of the Canes this year? You know? He thinks they're going to have a good year. The Dolphins, if Tua stays healthy, this is a good team.
This is the genesis of Zaslow's text to Dan after every article you write.
Right.
Well, that's the genesis of my feud with Zaslow. You know, that's
like, I love that you don't acknowledge any truth to that. I'm not saying that you aren't capable of shocking people, but like you're just gonna like put your shield up and not be like, maybe there's a 10% of truth to that, or like, you're just gonna.
It's possible.
Hold on. Okay, well. I've just realized something that Rage pointed out Monday after our episode. You notice that we recorded Matthew Berry and last week's episode on different days because Chris is wearing different clothes. Greg is still wearing the same shirt that he's wearing right now. It's his podcast uniform.
Oh, is this it?
Your chop suey who?
Wait, so you're saying that last week when we had 2 recording sessions, he was wearing that shirt, and now this next Friday he's wearing the same exact shirt?
Yes.
So he's doing the opposite of what you're supposed to do in this type of well, I guess with the last episode you did a good job because you were doing like, oh look, it looks like we did this at the same time.
It's his podcast uniform is what it is.
You know what? Seattle's oldest Chinese restaurant. Love it. Bruce Lee used to be a regular there.
So like how many times per like how many times do you wear a shirt before you wash it?
Once or twice. I wear a shirt one or 2 days and then I wash it.
I can do that in the wintertime. In the summertime, no, there's stank.
You just a top of the hamper guy? Because like you wash the shirt, you put it back on in the hamper, and then like
no,
just like,
never.
No. I meant like you in the clean clothes hamper. Like once the clothes are clean, it's the top shirt, so you just wear it again. Like I'm trying to find the way you're wearing that shirt again.
It's in my heavy rotation. I have 10
extremely
or 12.
Heavy.
Yeah, I have 10 or 12 t-shirts that I wear constantly.
And you go like one of them you'll wear for 2 weeks straight, and then you'll get the other one and then wear it for 2 weeks straight.
No, I wear something for a day or two. I don't.
So you're not following on the last. We've recorded like now in the last 7 days. You've been wearing that shirt 3 times.
All right, so it's been washed. Don't worry about that. Come smell it.
I prefer not to. Honestly.
Okay.
You don't got to worry about me. You need to let the audience smell that, Greg. Get a little closer.
Yeah.
Let the audience smell it.
Oh. Yeti, do some imaging on YouTube for some yellow smoke, like some like Pepe Le Pew smoke coming out of his arm.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm a clean man. By the way,
Dad, to have a little in-show meeting right here quickly.
Yeah.
I've decided I said this to you, but I think we might need to pivot and go to a more casual podcast set instead of a table.
I know you have mentioned that to me. That's controversial.
And what do you feel about that?
I feel better about that than having no studio at all.
All right, well, stop with the passive aggressive. All right, we're talking like I get it. You wish the studio was done by now. Like, what would you rather have? Because I'm doing this. Like, I'm
okay. If you leave it up to me, I think I would still prefer a desk, but I am not against the more casual seats.
I think we should honestly bring in our audience on this. What do you think? Or is this too much information? What if we literally say the 2 podcasts that I've been... we're obviously not going to copy them, but just in terms of aesthetically, do we want a table? Do we want couches? Like, it's the Best Friends podcast with Santino and Bobby Lee. And then the latest one is Yeti, which I want you to check out, the Rick Glassman podcast. Do you know this guy, Yeti? He's a musical guy. You would love this guy.
No, I don't know this guy.
Oh, you should investigate. He's hilarious. And he has more of like where he sits in just like a chair, kind of like a... What would you call that? Just a regular chair, and then there's a couch for guests. Yeah, but there are different types of chairs. There's like a couch chair, and then there's like chairs you have at a table.
A non-reclining lazy boy.
Yeah, like electric chair.
A non-recliner, but that's some sort of couch, comfortable chair. And then it's just like aesthetically, I feel like we could play with like Greg Cote. Like this is Greg Cote's basement, almost. Like that's what we'd be building. Like what is Greg Cote's basement
in Florida? Always a good idea.
That would be a funny joke, actually, if we're in Florida and we're in my basement.
Okay. I just want a set that allows me to have stuff on the walls as background.
All right. Well, that's every single possible set. So, like, I need a little more opinion. I just need a little opinion out of you.
Okay. So you lean chairs.
I don't know.
Erling chairs.
We can have this
birthday,
offline.
by the way, Erling.
I would like if you're interested in this show enough to look at those 2 podcasts I just referenced. Go look at those 2 podcast setups on YouTube. Excuse me, as I like hiccup, and tell us in the comments. These 2 love to read the comments you guys leave. Tell us which set that you guys think vibes more for our show. 2 guys sitting at a table, or more of like a you're in my living room, let's hang out type setup.
All right, let's see what people say, if they say anything at all.
I bet we get 3 comments about it.
Yeti, what do you think? Because I lean desk. Christopher, I think, leans chairs. What do you think? Since we're having an in-show meeting.
As someone who likes to lean forward a lot, I'm a desk guy. The problem with chairs,
true.
The problem with chairs a lot is the angles we get on the cameras on a lot of these shows. You're up dude's shorts all day.
I think the chair also would mean we need more camera angles.
Yes, we would. We
like,
need to get a couple.
We can have.
I mean, we'd get a couple of cameras for the desk anyway, so we have some options to play with. But yeah, like especially with the chairs, because you want up here. We don't need to be seeing up our thighs.
We would do it in the way they do it. Like the cameras, we'd get the tripod so that the angles would look professional. We're not going to do it's not going to be me at the 2 interview again.
I remember that. What a classic. That was so great.
Chris is stuck in the middle song. Sooie nominee.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I say we get a desk. We make the background the star of the studio. We're going to have a different background every week. I've got a treasure trove of trinkets and knickknacks.
Once again, like those could all be used on both set ideas.
Also,
like,
Chris, the one advantage to a desk is where's your dad going to do his work?
That's fair.
Greg's office setup is a disaster. It's going to take you 3 years just to be able to clean that up.
Right. Where we're going to put this studio is where my dad is right now. So
right.
You have 30 years worth of papers on that desk.
I know, it's terrible.
Including your Charles Bricker headline. That is my that's might be my favorite thing in your whole office. The fact that you still have it.
The guy's 0-14 against the spread.
Yeah.
People don't realize that's harder than going 14-0. It's impossible to go 0-14.
All right, you know what? Let's get to your stuff or we'll be here all night.
Okay, dad jokes. And dad jokes are under the gun, by the way. Wait, I'm nervous.
I thought those are done for a while.
No, we've been talking about. We haven't officially pulled the trigger. He might bury it himself today. Let's find out.
I'm worried. Okay.
He's always kind of thinking that his puns are in vogue. He cracks himself up like an egg with a yolk. And now Chris's morale is broke. Dad jokes.
Number 3. What kind of bird can write?
A writing bird. Pencil.
A woodpecker?
Pen.
Like you peck when
a wooden pecker.
You know what? If you're thinking typewriter, woodpecker's a good answer. But the correct answer is a penguin.
Okay, you were worried if that was a repeat. That is not a repeat.
Okay,
You've
good.
not done one that bad about birds.
Another Sooie nominee. Dan thought a penguin was a fish.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Although that's a spoiler alert because I think that's actually, that's later in the week.
Yeah. Okay. Number 2. What do you call a rooster who wakes you up the same time every morning?
A clock-a-doodle-doo.
An alarm cock?
You're both reasonably close. The answer is an alarm clock.
An alarm clock. Okay.
But you were both in the neighborhood. Number 1. Why was the nurse afraid of camping? Because of the poison IV.
Not a repeat.
Okay.
No, this is how
that's the standard at this point. I mean, geez.
Yes, that's
the dad jokes live. Yeah.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Chris. It's like this is what we've come to. Is that we're judging whether or not it's a repeat is a success.
3 facts, Jack.
There are 3 things that interest him, so sit right back for 3 facts, Jack.
Oh, last week, Greg, you failed on 3 facts. You went 1, 2, 3 instead of 3, 2, 1.
Did I really?
Yeah, you did.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Embarrassing.
You may have done 1, 2, 1. I'll have to go back and listen. But you definitely said number 1 as your very first one.
All right, I'm going to nail it this time. Number 3.
Got it.
There is a statue of Jason Voorhees, the Friday the 13th serial killer, chained to the bottom of a lake in Minnesota.
Oh, gosh, he said Voorhees.
How do you pronounce that?
Voorhees is how
whatever.
most people say it.
Number 2. Lobsters have blue blood.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1. Abraham Lincoln was a licensed bartender.
I mean, you need a license for that?
Back then? You had to have a license back then?
Apparently.
Even now, like, you just go to a bar and apply to be a bartender.
Yeah,
like,
you gotta
I know you need like some sort of thing to like, if you own a bar to sell bar, you need your like
a liquor license.
Like that I know, but it's like, can't anybody just walk into a bar? Like, you need to go to some sort of school for that?
I mean, you gotta know how to make a drink. You know, if I asked you to make me a Shirley Temple, what are you gonna do?
No, there's obviously like, you gotta know your shit. Like, but I'm just like, okay, maybe I'm wrong.
All right, let's get Abe Lincoln on the phone.
I mean, I definitely have worked at a restaurant before.
Okay, in Georgia, it doesn't require any particular training or a license to work as a bartender. Now I need to look and see. Generally, no permit or certifications are needed, at least in Georgia. Now I'm going to fact check you, Greg. Go ahead.
Georgia.
I worked at a restaurant before where they're like, "Hey, we need you to fill in. They're behind the bar," and it wasn't like, "Hey, go get your license." It was just like, "Hey, go." Instead of serving tables tonight, you're just going to be behind the bar.
And what if somebody asks you for a cock-a-doodle-doo?
Well, like, I know how to make like a Tito's and soda.
Okay. What about a cock-a-doodle-doo?
Well, then I'd be like, I'd Google it.
Okay.
I'd Google cock-a-doodle-doo, and then something very inappropriate would come up.
Gripes of wrath.
Annoyances, complaints. Greg's got grievances out the ass, so buckle up, Buttercup. It's time for Greg Cote's Gripes of Wrath.
Spoilers on slow cars.
Oh, are you doing a loud engine guy rant?
No. Spoilers on slow cars. A spoiler is an aerodynamic device installed on the rear body of a car to reduce drag and lift. They're typically seen on race cars or on street vehicles fast enough to actually produce drag and lift. Dear Mr. Toyota Corolla, you go 0 to 60 in about a week and a half. You don't need a spoiler. It would be like me driving around Miami with snow chains on my tires. A spoiler does not make your four-wheeled sloth look any faster. It makes you look silly. Stay in your lane. Quit embarrassing yourself.
I agree with you here. I'll do the rant again. If you are a person that on your car, even if it's a fast car, like obviously it's more acceptable with a fast car and a really impressive car. If it's a loud car, then that's okay. You got a really nice car. But just a loud car in general. If I'm in my house and I hear you, like there's one guy in my neighborhood. Once a night. We
haven't heard loud engine guy in a while.
Once a night, he's just like, and sometimes it's like at 7 a.m. Like he doesn't care. He'll do it like at any time.
Yeah. Back in 2020, 2021, he was a weekly character on the show.
Oh, yeah. And it is just, and I just like, hey, just know if you have this and you're one of our listeners, I want you to keep listening, but just know we would not be friends, you and I.
Right.
Like me and you would just not vibe, and that's it.
Right.
Like, I just don't understand the appeal of like, hey, you know this car? Let's make it like 7 times louder than this.
Right. I know. Now, I drive a fairly loud car.
Yeah, your car is annoyingly loud, but it's kind of just like only when you're, I don't know, it doesn't feel.
But it's also a fast car. Like I don't mind the loud engine if it's a muscle car. But
so you agree with me, right?
Yeah,
I do agree with you. But I hate it even worse when it's and I'm not making fun of Toyota Corollas, although I sort of am. But if it's the car that isn't the least bit fast, but you're paying all that money just for the sound, just for the mufflers, that's what's extra annoying to me.
So fact checking, Greg, you are correct. Back in 1830s, long before his White House days, Lincoln partnered with his friend William F. Barry to open a tavern called Barry and Lincoln in New Salem, Illinois. It was verified by a court record found in 1930. Sadly, his bartending career did not last very long because Barry, his companion, was not the most trustworthy man. The bar collapsed eventually, but yeah, he had a license. I guess in some places you have to have one. I don't know what it would require, but there you go.
There you go. All right. Thank you for validating my 3 facts, Jack. And now, we missed this last week, and the response was enormous. You all wanted it back, so it's back, Jack. It's the worldwide randomness of life.
Greg Cote's worldwide randomness of life. Worldwide randomness of life.
It's worldwide.
It's random. It's Greg Cote. Worldwide randomness of life.
All right. In real time, these are the 10 most searched items on Google right now. Are you ready? Let's see if any interest you. Duquesne Light Company bills rise Atlanta Braves baseball, Camp Mystic flooding, Summer I Turned Pretty episode 7 recap, Hollow Knight Silk Song release, Italian restaurant chain, Buffalo Bills, Venezuelan military, Morgan Wallen Grammys, and New England Patriots.
Summer I Turned Pretty, episode 7.
Give us the recap, Greg.
The Summer I Turned Pretty, season 3, episode 7, We Can't Be Friends. The 7th episode of The Summer I Turned Pretty's third and final season is aptly titled, continuing with the last word play, Last Hurrah, takes us to Belly and Jeremiah's bachelorette parties that are just taking place in Cousins.
Fun.
Does any of that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, you said words.
There's a character named Belly?
I mean, yeah, probably.
Okay. What's that, an adult movie or something? What is that?
Yeah, Dad, it's a porn.
I mean, it sounds like it. What is it?
Morgan Wallen is doing this thing where he's like, I don't like being with the mainstream. Like, I don't want. He's not like letting any of, because he's like the biggest in terms of popularity.
Right.
Like streaming numbers. He's the Taylor Swift of country, essentially. Like, he's just dominating everybody. He's releasing his music in a similar strategy to her. So he's just like dominating the charts. And he's like not submitting any of his music for Grammys because he's just like, nah, I'm good.
Really?
Yeah, he's just like, I mean, I'm sure, like along the lines of the SNL, like, I don't like, get me to God's country, get me away from the Hollywood, like, the Hollywood elite. I don't think he wants any part of like LA and like.
Yeah. He certainly doesn't mind having part in overproducing his vocals and saturating them with all sorts of nasty crap. Come on, man.
Is he very overproduced with how he sings?
Oh yeah. His vocals.
Because in concert he didn't sound terrible. Maybe could you?
I'm
do
not
that
saying
in
he can't
too?
sing. I'm just saying it's just super shiny, soulless garbage to me. And he doesn't.
Super AI. A lot of AI was his music.
Oh, Christopher.
I am now just trolling Yeti.
No.
People, especially our friend Hank. People are sending us like AI things with my dad, and they're hilarious. But Yeti it triggers Yeti every time.
I love it. I love that one.
And I'm finding I get a similar reaction when I read some stupid thing about Trump, like threatening to take over a city. It spikes my blood pressure in a similar manner, which is odd. But yeah, like AI and art.
Let's put it up for the people, especially it celebrates the Sooie. Let's show the people what Yeti's mad about.
That's a flattering portrait of me.
But it doesn't even look like you. Yes, I can see it's trying to be you, but it's not you.
See the neck?
But it's not you, Greg. Like
that's a good-looking man.
But also, it's AI. Someone should have
hands.
Like that is a very tiny hand and very tiny
Dad,
mic.
this is not a flattering photo. Like,
no,
I think you look better in the statue.
Look, the concept for that statue was perfect. If I were to commission a Greg Cote statue, that would be it. Someone human needed to be the one who drew that though. Like that's a part.
I agree.
Like AI with art, it just removes all the soul from it, the humanity from it. It pisses me off. I use AI sometimes. I use it for research.
Yeah, you use it a lot.
Like if there's something that
don't
I
you
need
use it to like help you do the Suies?
Yes, I did. It helped me code some things that I would have gone to learn to do myself to make things faster. It just helped. It helped me.
But I'm just saying, you're picking and choosing. You're playing both sides.
Well, no, see, that's something I would not have hired someone else to do that for me. I would have done that anyway, and it saved me a lot of time. Where basically, if it can summarize things where I'm not having to do research from 15 different web forums to learn something, that's a benefit. But art.
So you want assistants and like the medial workers to be out of work, just not artists.
There's no assistant that I would have hired to teach me how to code. I would have just done all the reading.
But in general, though, you're okay with jobs that take away some of the mundane. You're being selective here for art, which I agree with. Art is something we should value, but why? So you're fine with because there are a lot of people that do a lot of jobs that are just kind of like entering in stuff and
right. But me learning how to code I would have never hired someone to code for me. That's stuff I would have done to help automate some of the stuff that I was already doing for the Suies. I wasn't taking anybody's money. I was saving myself some time and sanity. The thing, like Spotify's got a problem on their hands right now because it hasn't been proven that it's Spotify themselves, but they're creating AI rock bands with tons of fake engagement, big time followers, And the songs are getting loads and loads of play to the point where if Spotify does that enough, they're not having to pay out to artists because they can saturate the market with these fake bands.
Right.
And people, I'm not even saying people like me, but yes, kind of like people like me, it makes it harder for someone to be able to break through and get noticed because because people are too complacent and not picky enough with their art. And they're banking on that.
I'm agreeing with you that you can, like, I can tell right away when a photo is like, okay, this is AI, which to your point, that's why real artists are still valued because they are better. But that doesn't mean we can't have fun and laugh at the videos. Like the way it triggers you, it's just like,
yeah, it triggered. Maybe it's because it makes me feel threatened a little bit. You know, I'm not this great artist, but I do all the artwork for this show. And, you know, I've done animated Greg Cote dancing. I've done animated Greg and Chris. And, you know, doing a whole episode from a cruise, you know, like it's not fast. It's not efficient because I'm not a natural artist in that way. But it has my fingerprint on it, has my
AI,
soul.
we could have had AI do that. Like,
I'm sure, and it would have been garbage. We've done an AI episode, you know, 1 minute of this episode, and I died a little.
Yeah, I do think it's a tough position to defend when you're okay with AI for this, but you're not okay with AI for that. You know, I think. I mean,
there is a line. I'm with Yeti. There should be a line, and we should not. I don't want to push it all away and not use it. Like, it's so beneficial in a lot of things.
I use it to do things that to maybe speed up something that I would have already done myself, like research. Yeah. You know, but like to do the human stuff, like this Sooie song. Oh, I'm sure I could have programmed something in and gotten some soulless garbage that sounded like a jazz number.
Soulless garbage.
It's soulless garbage.
I mean, you're an artist, Yeti. Like I get why this is like this is valuable.
It's a big deal to me. And you know, and there are certain things where automation helps, but the AI has the potential. We've all had technological advancements that have resulted in someone losing their job. AI has the potential to wipe out large swaths of jobs in a much more compressed amount of time. And that's what scares me.
I want to prank call you like one time as AI.
You probably will.
Your phone's going to ring and it's just going to be like,
"Hello, Yeti. I'm a computer. I'm about to record an album.
That would require you to actually call me, Chris.
I'm about to draw a picture. I'm about to draw a picture of Greg Cote, and it's going to look fantastic.
And I'm just going to go jump in a lake.
Okay, enough with AI. I want to say one thing, and then we're going to wrap up the show. Okay, dear Morgan Wallen, you're on top right now. 5 years from now, you're not going to be on top, and you're going to beg the Grammys to nominate one of your songs, okay? Appreciate what you've got right now. Don't get too big. Don't get too big. You know, there hasn't been a music artist ever born who didn't have his peak years and then have his down years. It's going to happen to Taylor Swift. It happened to Elton John. It happened to everybody who's ever spoken into a mic. It's going to happen to you, Morgan Wallen. Enjoy it while you can.
Who's going to knock him off the pedestal, Greg?
You know, I'm
the
just trying to...
3.
I'm trying to keep them real.
And the Hee Haw 3.
The Hee Haw 3.
That's right. Watch out. We're coming for you.
We are. It's a banger, too, that new song of ours.
That would be wild if in a couple years, instead of Morgan Wallen, the Hee Haw 3 is doing back-to-back nights at Hard Rock Stadium.
That's right. That's right. I tell you, Greg, this song, like, it makes me so happy. And I had 3 hours of sleep the other night. Wasn't sleepy at all at work because, like, just the tune was just bouncing the whole day.
I cannot wait to hear it Monday on the Levitard
You
show.
go with sleepy and not tired?
Depends.
Oh. Okay.
I can be tired but not sleepy. Be worn out. Like, I'm worn out right now, but I'm not sleepy.
This doesn't make sense. None of it.
Puffaw.
All right.
Pshaw. Pshaw. Not
okay. Puffaw? Puffaw?
Puffaw. Guffaw.
Pshaw.
You are tired.
Okay. All right. Let's wrap because they call us the rapper. Thank you, Mario Cristobal, University of Miami football coach. Miami versus Notre Dame next Sunday night, this coming Sunday night. It's going to be the game of the year in college football, and I will be there. How about that?
I think Notre Dame's going to win.
I think Miami is going to win, and it's not going to be close.
Shocking.
Miami in a rout.
What an upset pick by you on the way out here.
I'm telling you what, that kind of thing. Thank you, podcast family. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.